Welcome to the Xlani channel. I bet you didn't know the true story behind Joaquín Guzmán Loera, El Chapo, or Shorty. The name alone evokes fear, power, and a life shrouded in myth and violence. Born in the dust of La Tuna, Sinaloa, Mexico, his beginnings were humble, a stark contrast to the empire he would build. Growing up in poverty, El Chapo's early life was marked by hardship, a world away from the luxury he would come to know. His path diverged from the ordinary, leading him into the treacherous world of drug trafficking. His ambition burned bright, fueled by a desire to escape the clutches of poverty. He climbed the ranks, starting as a low-level operative in the Sinaloa Cartel. Ruthless and cunning, he quickly earned a reputation for efficiency and ruthlessness. This marked a turning point, setting the stage for his ascent to power and notoriety. His influence grew, tentacles reaching across continents, establishing a global drug empire. He became a master of logistics, moving tons of cocaine and other narcotics into the United States. Governments took notice, his name whispered in the halls of law enforcement agencies worldwide. The war on drugs had a new public enemy number one. El Chapo's audacity knew no bounds, as evidenced by his daring escapes from maximum security prisons. The first, in 2001, saw him smuggled out of Puente Grande prison in a laundry cart, a testament to his influence and the corruption he fostered. This escape, a potent symbol of his power, solidified his legend and sent shockwaves through Mexico and the United States. Years later, in 2015, he escaped again, this time through a mile-long tunnel dug into the shower of his cell. The audacity of this escape, complete with lighting and ventilation, highlighted the sophisticated network at his disposal. It was a humiliating blow to the Mexican government, exposing the deep-rooted corruption that enabled his empire. His time on the run was short-lived, each escape fueling a relentless pursuit by Mexican and U.S. authorities. The manhunt intensified, driven by a potent mix of justice and a desire to dismantle his empire. Every capture felt like a victory, yet his ability to evade justice cast a long shadow. For aspiring leaders, El Chapo's story offers lessons in understanding power dynamics and the consequences of corruption. His strategic thinking, influence, and control over his network demonstrate the importance of these skills in any field. His resilience and adaptability in overcoming challenges, though used for nefarious purposes, are traits that can be applied positively in business and leadership. Ultimately, his downfall underscores the critical need for ethical leadership and the dangers of succumbing to corruption. El Chapo's reign was not without its challenges, as he navigated a treacherous landscape of rival cartels and constant pressure from law enforcement. He engaged in bloody turf wars, leaving a trail of violence and fear across Mexico. His ruthlessness made him a formidable enemy, but also sowed the seeds of resentment and betrayal. His personal life was a tapestry woven from contradictions. He was a family man, fiercely protective of his loved ones, yet capable of unspeakable brutality. He lived a life of opulence, fueled by the profits of his illicit trade, while millions suffered the consequences of addiction. The juxtaposition of his personal and criminal life painted a complex and disturbing portrait. El Chapo's arrest in 2016, following a shootout with Mexican Marines, marked a turning point in the war on drugs. His extradition to the United States in 2017 was a symbolic victory, a message to criminals that even the most powerful are not beyond the reach of justice. Yet his capture did not signal the end of his influence. El Chapo's 2019 trial in New York City offered a glimpse into the inner workings of his empire. Witnesses, including former associates and rivals, painted a picture of a ruthless and calculating kingpin. He was found guilty on multiple counts of drug trafficking, money laundering, and conspiracy. Sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, El Chapo now resides in ADX Florence, a supermax prison in Colorado. Known as the Alcatraz of the Rockies, it houses some of the most dangerous criminals in the United States. The man who once ruled an empire now spends his days in solitary confinement. His legacy remains a source of debate. Some see him as a ruthless criminal responsible for countless deaths and the destruction of countless lives. Others, particularly in his home state of Sinaloa, view him as a folk hero, a symbol of resistance against poverty and government corruption. The war on drugs continues, with new cartels and synthetic drugs emerging. El Chapo's story serves as a reminder of the complexities of drug trafficking and its lasting impact on society. His life, a cautionary tale of ambition, corruption, and the human cost of the drug trade continues to fascinate and horrify in equal measure.